Hello everyone and welcome to another light review of a ship in World of Warships with gameplay. And this is the Tier 4 Japanese cruiser, the Kuma. I quite like the Kuma as a ship. It's just really sorry about what comes after it. But this is about the Kuma, not the turd that comes after it. It has just enough guns, I feel, to lay the heat down on some enemies, set them on fire, do sort of chores like that, but this ship is a bit underwhelming compared to some of the others, especially the St. Louis, which is a tier below it when it comes to the gunnery. But it does have beautiful torpedoes for a tier 4 cruiser. Unlike other Japanese cruisers, some of its torpedoes are in the forward after the ship, so it's not as obvious when a Kuma deploys its torpedoes. Kuma's also very fast and nimble. Let's get on to some gameplay of it then, and so you can see it in action. When you upgrade the Kuma, you unlock those two extra abilities apart from the repair at the bottom, because the Kuma doesn't come with the radar and airplane stock, but they are quite nice wee upgrades when you get them. The radar has saved my butt a few times when I'm thinking there might be a destroyer right round the corner, or the destroyer's smoked, so I want to be able to see them and hit them. And the fighter, well, every little bit helps when you've got next to no anti-air like most ships do. Now, skipping forward again, as always, as we always do, is what I'm trying to say to when the action starts. This is a tier 4 game, so we are relatively high up in the tiers, and I was steaming ahead as fast as I could to try and cap this. Is it? Yeah, it's C down here in the bottom corner of the map, and it put myself out in the open, and lots of ships can shoot at me. I'm quite lucky. Just quite lucky they're all going after someone else on the map at this point in time. The torpedoes, I really was not expecting them to be coming for me because, well, I can do this. But they did catch me a wee bit off guard. As you see, I started turning the wrong way at first there. But we did actually have completely avoid them, so no problems there. This side I'm going to lay a couple of torpedoes down there just in case one of them tries to come up. You never know, I might get lucky. And now I don't want to push my luck anymore. I need to start turning away from the mainstay of the ships there that are probably going to be shooting at me. And also I'm feeling very out in the open, very out and exposed here. But I am starting to get some hits. Well, not many. Actually, I'll scratch that. I'm not really getting any hits. I've done next to nothing this game so far, apart from dodge those torpedoes. So far I've been a retard magnet that has done nothing and not been shot at. But now we're starting to get shot at. And now we're starting to deal damage back, but we definitely need to get out of here. We're way too overexposed, and I see that now. Lay off some torpedoes, might get lucky again if he drives in a straight line, but I think I did them a wee bit too short. Should have led them a wee bit more than that. And I'm pulling back towards the mainstay of my team, well, back towards my side of the map, because there's a lot of enemy ships that are going to be able to open fire on me. Start laying down some more fire down there, and will we actually hit now? There we go, we're finally getting hits. We've set him on fire, good. We're finally doing damage. He just repaired that fire instantly. What's what you expect. So hopefully we can set him on fire now, and you'll have nothing to repair it, and that fire will deal lots of damage for us. Yep, there we go, we just did that. And he's defenseless against that fire, so it's quite a nice wee bit of damage that's going to tick off of that battleship thanks to us. He could use his repair ability to sort of counteract that damage, but it's still damage. It may not do a lot to his health, but it means a lot in the long run if he does use that ability anyway. And here I see some torpedoes and they're heading towards my ally, and I'm like, who the hell fired them? No. I was actually turned around looking for him there, but I didn't realise he's... I'll show you them in a few seconds. He's a wee bit over to the other side. On fire now myself. Waiting on repair to come off cooldown. In fact, I don't even use the repair because I was expecting to get set on fire again as soon as I repaired, so I thought I'd be better off saving it. This guy's still in there, he's hanging in there. He really should have been dead about 5 minutes ago now. And is he going? 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 Gone. There we go. And I start turning back towards my side of the board again because there's lots of ships. I was planning on using the islands just there to cover me, so only about one enemy ship could fire at me at a time, and that is the one I'd be firing at. Just sort of manage the amount of damage that it's possible for me to receive. That sort of thing's what I was planning. Speed things up a bit. I'm also glad that cruiser's on the other side of me now because, well, two reasons. He is a team killer by accident earlier and I don't want him to do the same to me. And, well, the enemy will shoot at him first normally, because they always seem to go for the closest ship. Now getting some fire onto what looks like the Omaha, or it could be the Phoenix. I'll lay some more torpedoes down that Narrows, just in case that's where he decides to come up. Because that's really, a lot of the time that's what torpedoes are. You leave them there and you sometimes get lucky. The other things torpedoes are good for is when you're really close to an enemy ship and it's sort of like there's no way for them to escape. And these are Japanese torpedoes, so they've all got about 7-8 kilometer range, and if we had angled that a bit better we might not have needed to get as lucky. You might not have needed them to come up the Narrows. Now here I'm firing at him, trying to do as much damage and set him on fire, and it looks like he is going to come up the Narrows, so I'll lay some preemptive torpedoes for that. But he decides to keep turning, and so he was just complete about turning, unfortunately for us. But we're still firing our guns. These guns have got quite a good reload speed, so they're great at setting the enemy on fire because you just spew, 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 spew. And that's the sort of ships I like. I like to spew a lot and set things on fire a lot, and let the fire damage deal it for us. Now here he pokes his nose out, so we start firing at him again. Firing at him. I'm wondering why he's not returning fire, and so I realise he must be laying some torpedoes. But, bam, he goes down. Now I need to turn to avoid his torpedoes. No, look, they're over there. He didn't lead them at all. He must be complete. Well, I have no idea what he was thinking. He must have been rushing, going, oh my god, I'm about to die. Just get them in the water, just get them in the water. I've done that a few times, and, well, I'm guessing that's what he was doing just there. Start putting some fire into these battleships here now, and looks like that one's about to go down. Bam! And that ends the game. We did mediocre. That was a pretty average game for me. If the battle had went on for longer, I feel like it would have been one of my great games, because it started off badly and was getting better and better. But I'd say it was really mediocre for me and the Kuma, which is the sort of theme of this report, because I've pulled out some ones that were pretty mediocre. Ones we did sort of average. We came about second or third in our team most of the time. The last game we dealt tons and tons of damage in this video, but I lost the after screen reports for it. But you get to see the damage, so at least you know it's there. On to the second game for today. The Kuma is quite an aesthetically pleasing ship to look at, just as we've seen there. Now this is a tier 5 game, so we're not top tier here, but in the Kuma I'm never really worried about that. In World of Warships I'm normally never worried about that. It's only when you're in a third of a ship you really need to be worried about being bottom tier. Skipping ahead once again to when the action starts, and it's the same map. I was zooming ahead just because I'm a fast nimble ship. I feel some responsibility for capping early, so that's what I was doing. I was coming down trying to cap early, but the enemy is already here, so we start fighting. And there's a destroyer. Right, I think, right, I'm going to get some torpedoes in the water. And I can't get those second load of torpedoes in the way I want them, so just in case he does turn, I'll lay them over there. And, well, we'll see. My rudder has been damaged twice. And so yeah, I'm stuck going round and round in circles. But I was quite lucky there at the beginning, because when I went to repair it the first time, oh god, what the hell was I thinking putting those torpedoes in the water? I did not notice that destroyer, but luckily he turned and seen them. That was very nearly a huge... I would have been pulling out the dunce cap and putting it on my own head. But those torpedoes I launched earlier, we did put them in a good place because he did turn and we somehow still got him. Miraculous. Miraculous? Yeah, words, people. We also scored ourselves a first blood medal for that torpedo hit and the hits coming after. We see his retaliation torpedoes there and my rudders broke, so I put a full stop to my speed here. I'm actually on reverse, but it's taking time to slow down and actually get into reverse, as you would expect with the laws of physics and all. But the torpedoes have now finally fully missed me, so I speed back up. And I do apologise to that guy, there was nothing I could do to get out of his way. I'm stuck going round in circles. And there we go, we're free! We're free to go and do what we want again. So as usual, speeding things as usual, speeding things up until we get back into the action, and we're shooting shots over this island here, because we're at the extremes of our range. So he's trying to use the island to protect them? I don't think so. We can get some lovely arc and fire right over and onto him, which, yeah, there we go. Zoom in so I can give you a better view of how arc and fire works. That's my shots going in, that's me getting hits. That's my shots going in. That's my shots going in. That's me getting hits. Now he started turning here and I can't see him, so it didn't took longer to respond to it than I should normally, but that's, you can see him now. He's turning, my shots are landing on him. Half our team's firing at him, so I expect him to die any second, and there we go, we get the kill. Start speeding things up again any second now till we start getting into the combat again. 5, 4, oh, there we go. We're doing firing over at this battleship now. Oh wait, nope, that's a cruiser. From here it looks like an Omaha or a Phoenix. It's hard to tell though at this range. I should be able to tell in a second. In fact, no, I can't tell. Because I was going to say if I can see the turret, but that's that far away I can't tell if there's a turret there or not. Plus, I'm viewing it back on a tiny screen as a voiceover in my software, so yeah, it's pretty hard to see. I still can't really make out if there's a turret there. Right, anyway, we're getting some shots over onto him, dealing some nice, lovely damage. And it's about here I start thinking about my torpedoes. But I see the ships in front of me. So I think about it, then decide I shouldn't. So let's just get back into firing. That's that cruiser gone, and oh boy, that was one nasty hit we just took there from a battleship. It must have been a citadel penetration or something similar. I launched some torpedoes over, not realizing that he is turning, so those torpedoes are never going to hit him. But oh well, torpedoes are cheap, and well, if you don't fire them, you won't get lucky. But please do be careful that you're not going to team kill when you do fire them. And in about a minute, I'm going to make a huge mistake. Because, they got ram and kill there. They rammed each other, killed each other. Here I'm checking to see if my torpedoes have reloaded yet. I wasn't about to fire because he's there. I was going to wait till after he was gone, but I wanted to know if they were reloaded, so I checked. And they are now. Lay some torpedoes down in front of them, see if you'll hit them, and go back to trying to set them on fire. And it's about here, I'm getting greedy, and I'm like, I want to land some torpedo hits on him, and I want to make sure I goddamn well land some torpedo hits on him. So let's be an absolute idiot, and we did get some torpedo hits on him, but I want more, I want to finish him off. And before my torpedoes even have a chance to reload, we're going to drive right into his secondary battery range, like a complete dunce when we've got no health, and he doesn't even need to pay us any attention, but he still kills us. What the hell was I thinking? That is what happens when you get greedy, folks, right there. Pulling out my dunce hat, I got greedy, I wanted that kill, I wanted to torpedo him, I wanted that experience, I wanted that money. But it just got me killed. Start zooming around here looking for some action. Destroyer. Should feel fast sort of gameplay. Should. Nothing really happening. Don't know why I spent so long letting you see this destroyer. Okay, I'm gonna speed it up any minute now. We're still just watching the destroyer roll. What the hell was I thinking here? I don't know. Dum dum da dum 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 dum. There we go. Finally start showing something else in. It is now really sped up. It was at like 8 times speed there or something for a few seconds. What the hell is that guy doing? Is he camping in World of Warships? Speed things back down to normal speed here. He gets a torpedo spread off. But I still can't get that guy that was camping in the St. Louis out of my head. If he was in a destroyer, waiting for someone to come around the corner so he could get a like really close in torpedo run on him before the guy had the time to react, I could understand that, and I've seen it do that happen, and I've seen that work. But in the St. Louis, just camping between two islands, like, doing nothing until an enemy ship comes within range and starts shooting at you. Then you start moving and firing back. Like, why? Why? Duh. My brain hurts. But now there's just one enemy destroyer on the enemy team. And here's our friend in the St. Louis again. Now the destroyer's somewhere down there. Let's turn broadside to him and then drive on a straight line. Yeah. Well, it's not a straight line, but it's near enough. Well, it's a straight line now. And oh look, torpedoes are incoming. Who would have guessed? At this point, there was someone in my team thinking, oh god, we're gonna lose. I'm like, no. Look at the points. We've literally cannot lose this. We cannot lose this. Right? No. Yeah. There he is. We've actually spotted him now. Oh god, that destroyer is would be so easy for the enemy to kill. Just a few shots to land on him. And that could give him time to get the next guy. And then the next guy if we keep streaming into them one at a time. But nope, thankfully he doesn't do that, and we win. But there was a wee moment there where that first St. Louis went down, then that destroyer sailed into him to get the guns. Oh, I was getting a wee bit worried there. But we did mediocre again, mediocre amount of money experience. Well, there's an okay amount of money and experience for the tier. And okay amount of damage and stuff done. Yep. We'll be moving on to the third and final game in just a second. Here we are here, and it is another tier 5 game. Or is it tier 4? Yeah, the highest tier I can see is 4. So it's another tier 4 game, and so we're top tier again. But as I say, as long as you're not in a turd, it doesn't really matter much in the World of Warships. And it's definitely not if you're in something like the St. Louis. If you're in a St. Louis, you don't care who you get in a gun duel with. You're happy to be in a gun duel. The Kuma's a tier above, and you still don't want to get into a gun duel with it. St. Louis is a better battleship than the tier 3 battleships. Although, admittedly, that is not saying a lot. But right, onto this battle. As usual, we skipped ahead, and I'm down here on the flank, and there is a St. Louis. So speaking of St. Louis's, I lay some torpedoes on a wide spread because I'm just hoping to get lucky here, and leave some just in front of him as though he's going to turn into me, and some a wee bit further ahead of that as though he's going to turn towards me in, say, a minute. And I turned round, and then I'm going to deploy some torpedoes sort of similar sort of fashion in front of that destroyer, just in case, because who knows when you'll get lucky. We've set the St. Louis on fire. We're landing some more shells on him, but the St. Louis has sailed in a straight line, so for once, thinking what should he be doing is the exact opposite. Oh well. We repair there to repair our turret and take rid of the fire damage. He turns into the border. And you can see just there, the St. Louis has already done quite a bit of damage to me. And that's the reason you don't want to be in a gun duel with the St. Louis. And really no idea what those torpedo bombers were trying to achieve. Like, I'd set myself up so that I could just, literally just do what you've seen there. Just turn a wee bit, they're not going to hit me anymore. The angle he was coming at me was the worst torpedo run I've ever seen. Quite literally. So we go back, fire some more shells at the St. Louis, as well as preemptive torpedoes, just in case, hoping to get lucky going down there. The one thing those torpedoes from those bombers did do is to prevent me from turning the way I wanted to turn, which I'm actually quite thankful for looking back. Because if I did turn that way, I would have opened myself up to so many extra enemy ships to fire at me. Send some loads of shells over towards this destroyer, because we're in a cruiser. What should we do? Fire at the destroyer. But we seem to be just missing them every time. Some torpedoes coming in. I'm not worried about them. There's no way they're going to hit me. And we're coming round back the way we originally were coming. I think I'll leave some torpedoes just there because I see a battleship really slowly come around the corner of that island mountain, and I'm thinking, oh god, that would be a perfect tight spread. He's just really slowly coming round there, so those torpedoes are aimed perfectly for him and they're coming across right on target so far. So let's just cross our fingers, hope he doesn't turn. He knows there's cruisers here and there's Japanese cruisers, so there should be torpedoes. So really, if he should be turning, he should know there's torpedoes on the way. They're looking beautiful. I'm getting really excited at this point. 4 torpedoes will be enough to kill him. Do tons of damage. He's basically full health. And all 4 land. All 4 do tons and tons of damage. But someone's shell ninjas the kill. That was a bomb of damage. Battleships have a ton of health and we just basically headshot, one hit KO'd them. Oh boy. There, that was quite a large amount of damage. Like, yeah. Full broadside of torpedoes, all 4 landing. Yeah, that was beautiful. I can't stop talking about it. So, and we're going back after that destroyer, but there's an island in the way now, so speeding up. I tried to see if I could arc some shells over, but there just wasn't big enough range between me and the island. So come over here, now start getting some shots onto this battleship, I think it is, but it's hard to tell on such a tiny wee screen. Yep, there he is, a battleship. He's reversing, so I actually led my shots a wee bit more than I should do, because I'm used to them moving a wee bit faster than they were, but I start to correct that. And then the island gets in the way, so I see myself a juicier target. This cruiser aircraft carrier. Now I was thinking he was lying still, that's why those first shots missed him by a mile, but he is reversing. So those other shots are coming down. Or is he reversing? Is that the front? Yeah, that's the front, so he's driving forward, not reversing. And his engines have been destroyed with someone, that's why you see the smoke appearing from his stacks. Well, not the smoke, the fire. And it's about here. Yeah, I was like, what the? Fire from this side? I was tunnel visioned on that cruiser, and I didn't... aircraft carrier, and I didn't even notice this guy over here. So I was like, oh god, quickly launch torpedoes. Hopefully we insta-kill him. But someone else had already launched torpedoes and took him out for me. So that looked like the Oba, the free ship, but I didn't get quite a good look at it. But if it was, that thing's guns are really nasty. The ship is terrible because it's got no range whatsoever. But if that thing gets in range, it can deal with quite a lot of damage. Its guns are really heavy duty for its tier. So even though it's a tier 2, it could have dealt some serious damage to me in my light cruiser. The Oba has the same sort of flaws really as the tier 3 battleships do. They just don't have the range and they don't have the speed, and Not having the range or speed combined means that everyone can just run rings outside your range and go, ha ha, you can't hit me. But still, coming on down here, we're going after this battleship that's still driving backwards. He's taking a lot of fire now, and a lot of torpedoes are coming in for him, but that is him finally down, and we're left with just the enemy carrier on the enemy team. And you can tell he's gunning for me because I'm the closest ship, and he really does not want to get a ship close to him. So his torpedoes are going to be circling me and waiting for a good opportunity to try and lay down some fire on me. I did use Alt and then click on the torpedo bombers so my anti-air will focus on them instead of the fighters he's trying to use to soak up my anti-air. But I have that little anti-air, it does not really matter. And those torpedoes were really easy to dodge. I expect the second ones to be coming in, I expect them to be launching just now, but there's only 2 left. They don't launch, they fly over me. I was really not worried about them there because it's like if they launch now they're not going to do damage. And now they're all dead. Thanks for the cover, aircraft carrier. Big thumbs up to you. You made my life there a lot easier. Now, here I bet my bottom dollar. He is right here in this corner. And we speed up for a split second, and guess where he is? Right in this corner. So let's start pumping heat shells on him to try and set his flight deck on fire. We're coming in. I want to go right in close and do a curb stomp here is basically what my plan of action is, because it's an aircraft carrier. It's the easiest way to deal with them really, especially when they've got no planes coming gunning after you. I'll launch some torpedoes against him with a slight lead because he is driving into the corner of the map. And I keep firing shells at him. But, annoyingly, look what's happening. My team are capping. Really? We're just about to finish them off. The cap's great that it's there. For that last little destroyer or carrier, you've got no idea where he is. But when we've got him cornered and are literally just about to decapitate him, the enemy, your allies cap, for that 1 extra experience and 1 extra money, they cost me about 200. Yep, we cap, he gets off scot-free, and I'm disappointed as hell. They took away my carrier kill, man. Hope you've all enjoyed this. See you all next time. Bye-bye.